My channel, finally to a more normal video. In case you've missed my last vlog, which I'm gonna link in the card right there in the corner of the video, which is actually here because it's always in the left corner, isn't it? But yeah, I've been to the Summer in the City event with YouTube on this weekend with a lot of the other fellow next uppers, and it has been absolutely amazing, and I vlogged it and I went with Danny, and it was just the most exciting weekend in a long time, which is a big thing to say. But there was a lot going on, so if you're interested to see what happened, then definitely check out that vlog. But today we're actually going back to my normal groove of filming, and I'm doing a tutorial on this look right here, which is a crazy kind of galaxy navy sky midnight color smoky eye with a lot of fun glitter. And I use the Urban Decay XX Vice LTD Reloaded palette, which, I mean, you see it. Need I say more? I don't think so. Alright, let's get started with the tutorial. So the first thing I'm doing is using my Becca Under Eye Brightening Corrector with a synthetic brush from Sigma, and I'm just applying it all over my eyelids and also underneath my eyes to neutralize any redness and also act as a base for any other products that we're going to be putting on top. So once the corrector is well blended in, I'm gonna move on to the foundation, and today I'm using the L'Oreal True Match foundation, and the shade right now is N3, and I'm just using a flat top brush from Coastal Scents to buff it into the skin, and I'm kind of trying to press it in rather than buffing it around to make sure I have the maximum coverage, but that it also kind of mimics the skin-like texture and just looks more natural. And usually when I'm doing a very dramatic eye like today, I do like to have my canvas really perfect because it makes everything look more even and nicer. So definitely take time with this step and make it as flawless as possible. After that, I'm going to highlight underneath the eyes using the Airbrush Concealer from Clinique, and this is in the shade number 1. So I'm just using a very small amount and the same brush I was using for the corrector to blend it in. And this just adds a little bit of a glow and like just a bit of a highlight underneath there and makes everything look nice and smooth. To set everything into place, I'm going to use my MAC Studio Fix Powder Foundation, and with the same brush, I'm just going to buff it into the skin to try and mattify it and make it last a lot longer. And then once I'm done with that, I'm actually going to use a lighter shade, this time in NC15, the first one was N5, and I'm just going to press a very generous amount underneath the eyes, and this is just going to protect the cheeks from any fallout from the glitter and the eyeshadow that I'm going to be applying a bit later. And then it's time to fill in the brows very kind of gently, not too much. I don't like to do very crazy bold brows. Today I'm using my L'Oreal Brow Artist Design eyebrow pencil in the shade number 3. And I'm just very gently filling in the brush just in the sparse areas where I need it, and also a little bit on the tail of the brow. And then once I'm done with that, I'm actually going to set everything in place with my Benefit Browsing or Gimme Brow, I'm sorry, brow gel in the shade number 5. And this really does help to make the brows stay into place and also adds a little bit of color, so it makes them look a little bit fuller. Now it's time for the eyeshadow base, and today I'm using actually a fluid line from MAC, and the shade is called Sahi, I think. It's a really beautiful kind of petrolay blue, and I'm just gonna after that go on to the palette, and I'm gonna use a very bright lilac-y color, as you can see here, with a short shader brush from Sigma, and I'm gonna press it into the inner part of the eyelid, really trying to get it as pigmented as possible. And then once I have it kind of nice and even on the upper lid, I'm actually gonna also drag it into the inner corner and also on the lower lash line, but only on the first half of it. Then with the same brush, I'm going to go into this dark purple shade from the palette, and I'm going to press it onto the outer corner, both on the upper and lower lash line. And then afterwards, I'm going to switch to an angled eyeshadow brush, and I'm just going to blend around the edges so everything looks nice and blended. Now I know it still looks a little bit crazy right now, but I promise you once we're done with everything, it's going to look really cool. So the next step is actually going to be to add a little bit of black into the outer corners and also into the crease, just to provide a little bit more definitions into the eyes and kind of more deepness, I guess. And I'm just using a natural pencil brush to place it right into the outer corner. And then I'm gonna use this white pearly shade. It's really cool because it has kind of a blue iridescence to it. So I'm just gonna apply it onto the brow bone and also drag it into the inner corner, and then go back to a clean blending brush and blend out the edges. Next, I'm going to use this glittery eyeliner from Collection, and I'm just gonna apply it all over my eyelids, and I really love using this one for that. And then I'm gonna move on to this white glitter from Coastal Scents, and with my fingers I'm gonna place it all over the eyelids, really pressing it on so that it kind of sticks and doesn't fall everywhere. But even, you see I have fallout, I'm just gonna use a clean brush, and because we applied that powder before, I'm just gonna use the brush to shake off any excess glitter, and it leaves really nice and smooth under eye without any glitter on it. Next, I'm going to curl my lashes using the Tarte Lash Curlers, and then I'm also going to apply a few coats of my Dare Real Mascara from Benefit before I actually apply also some false lashes. So today I'm actually using the Lamink lashes in the style Dazzle, and these are really cool because they cross over, so they look very natural, but at the same time they're very wispy, so they add just the right amount of drama without overpowering the glitter on the eyelids. So I'm just placing those very close to the lash line because I'm not using any liquid liner, so you really want to make sure that the band is practically invisible. And then once that is done, I'm actually going to use a black kohl eyeliner. This one is from Lancome, and I'm just going to trace it over the rim of my lower lash line just to darken it up a little bit and make it look a little bit more cohesive with the top eyelid. And then I'm also going to finish it off with just a little bit more mascara. Now for some reason I felt like there wasn't enough highlighter going on the eyelids, so I'm using the Becca Shimmer Skin Perfector Pressed in the shade Moonlight, and Moonstone, sorry, and I'm using a little brush just to apply to the inner corners. And then I'm going to use my MAC bronzer in the shade Matte Bronze, and with the Real Techniques Expert Face Brush, I'm just going to trace over my cheekbones just to add a little bit more structure to the bones there, and oh, that sounds so wrong, but yeah, you know what I mean, just kind of make my face look a little bit more chiseled before I apply any blush on it. For blush today, I'm using my Coastal Scents Forever blush in the shade Fresh, and I'm just using an angled blush brush from Sigma Beauty, and I'm just tracing it over my apples and then dragging it to my temples. And I'm also going to add a little bit of highlight. Today I'm using the Bobbi Brown Shimmer Bricks in the shade Pink Quartz, and with a setting brush from Real Techniques, I'm just going to apply it to the tops of the cheekbones, and this just adds a super natural looking highlight, which I really like for the day-to-day basis, and it just looks really nice. And then the last step is going to be to add a little bit of lip gloss, and this one today I'm using is from NARS, and I'm just applying it, just very randomly all over my lips, just because I want a little bit of shine but not too much color. And that completes the whole look, so I hope you guys enjoyed it, and don't forget to subscribe if you did, and I'll talk to you guys very soon in my next video. Bye!